You mind if I ask something, Pete?
Yeah, go ahead.
I remember watching because I watched his channel. I forgot the name of the channel, but he was talking to this homeless woman, and she was talking about how she was, even though she was out there in the street, she didn't want to ask a man for help. So some of these women, they just gonna be homeless and crash out. They're not even just gonna care. They're just gonna be like, hey, I'm just gonna have to. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of these, man. These their egos are off the chain, and hopefully, you know what I mean, they watching this, or they can kind of get themselves together before they go down that path. But it was sad, man. It's like the guy wanted to take care of her and everything. She was like, nah, I want to do what I want to do. And now she was on the street. So it's crazy, man.
Do y'all think that the result of trying to balance the scales will ever work in any metric? I mean, because the presumable thought process was women were put in a position where they were disadvantaged based on how society was constructed. So, in order to try and fix that, you want to go to the opposite end of the spectrum in order to try and bring some more centrism to to life in itself. Do y'all think that that will ever work in any regard?
I would say no, considering the fact that if you listen to women speak, you listen to them talk, they want the equality in the workforce while still maintaining the inequality in their personal romantic lives. I've heard a woman give an example where she says, despite the fact that I work, I still expect a man to take care of me. I still expect a man to um take on the household bills and be a man. So with that being said, it works. Their personal lives go at odds with the lives that they want out in the workforce. So it's kind of hard to balance that out, because now you're basically telling us that again, men have to overcompensate. Then that means that men will have to overcompensate in the workforce to continue to give you more in the workforce, only for us not to get their ROI at home.
That's the equilibrium he's asking about.
So yeah, no, I don't think it'll happen. Not in that aspect.
All right, Swinny, you want to go ahead and ask her to respond?
Oh
We are
yeah.
in the self.
As far as a selfish season, I for the most part agree with the fellas. To kind of answer your question, JR, as far as what Trev was talking about, where he sees it more in women, I think it's because it's easy for women to be selfish. It's very hard for a man to be selfish because we inherently have to give to get. We have to take them out on dates. We have to approach. We have to give. We inherently have to give to get. Whereas women, they make demands. So it's easy to make demands and be selfish. So when they go out and they tell us, we've seen it all the time, places we don't want to go be taken on dates to. You don't see no list of shit like that from men, because we the ones doing the dating. We the ones taking them out on the date. So we inherently have to give just to get, whereas women just can make demands. And then you add in the fact that they have the internet at their fingertips, and you add in the fact that there's a perceived lack of need for men, and they can sit back and make all the demands they want and be as selfish as they want with little to no consequence outside of, you know what I mean, later on down in life. But at this current moment, they don't have to be selfless. We have to be selfless if we want results in this world. Now, granted, we have to be a little more assertive in our demands as far as, workplace and all of that. But when you talk about personal lives, in order for you to get results out of people around you, men have to inherently be selfless. Otherwise, won't nobody deal with you.
So I just wanted to say I think that you're 100% right about as far as the demands a woman can make in the dating market or the dating process. But as soon as the dating ends and you're trying to transition into a relationship, that's when the man should be making his demands. And if he doesn't, that's a failure of setting the status quo for that relationship, in my personal opinion.
Wait, hold on. But why are you waiting at that pivotal moment to say, okay, I think we're going to go into a relationship? Well, I'm considering we make this an exclusive relationship, right? And then you start to kind of say, these are the things that I'm expecting Like, I think there's the tone that you have to set in the beginning about how you have certain expectations of how you carry yourself, and you know what I'm saying, and you carry that forward. And during that entire process, you should have receipts. The receipts of you showing up in a particular type of way, you setting the tone. You know what I'm saying? That right there are byproducts of you being able to make your case. But like waiting until that moment, you know what I'm saying? Because if there's some things that she might not like, she'll be like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. That sounds a little bit dicey. I mean,
Okay.
look, granted, I think some men could pull that off. I don't think all dudes could pull that off.
Okay, the reason I say that is initially is you pursuing, right? Most men put their best foot forward and try and get her to go out on a date with them or try and get her to like them, right? They're attempting to get her to, so it's things that they may concede in the effort to try and get her to go on a date, to try and get her to have sex with them, or try and get her to do XYZ, right? So the portion I'm speaking of is when she transfers from agreeing to date you, begins to like you, and wants to actually move into a relationship. At that pivotal point is where that whatever you were doing in this beginning, like, and I do agree, you should start how you finish, right? But what I'm talking about is a nuanced concept of making sure you explain your expectations clearly. Most men from the beginning, end, or middle do not give clear expectations on what they want. Like, if, like, say you only like to see your woman wear pink. Like, I just want to see you in pink. You can't start the first date off saying only wear pink. You got to give her a chance to get into it. I mean, you could, but it's more realistic that once you know she wants to be there and she's trying to figure out how to make this relationship work or try to be with you, then you can say, hey, this is what I expect, this is what I like, and then move forward from there.
I think you're definitely right about that, right? But I think what's overlooked is that like most men are conditioned to not have demands when it comes to women, right? And I think the proof of that is like there was the conversation we had in the back chat before the stream even started. I think Hank was asking Shannon, he was asking about receiving and accepting gifts from women, right? And a lot of men have been even conditioned and trained that accepting anything from a woman, it makes them somehow less of a man, or somehow weak or something like that. You know what I mean? So I think that a lot of men, when it comes to dealing with women, are conditioned to just be taught to listen, don't have no demands for her. You're supposed to give everything, even asking questions like, what do you bring to the table is considered like sassy. It's considered like, wait, what do you mean you're asking of something from a woman? What kind of man are you? So I think that a lot of why women are in the selfish era too is due to the conditioning of men. I think men have to, in general, get more comfortable with making demands and asking for what they want out of a relationship, because I think all too often we're told that we're not supposed to. Like even Shannon was saying when we had that conversation in the back chat, he's saying like, nah, get me something, get me a gift. Like, no, you're not just gonna get me them socks or whatever last minute on my birthday, or a last minute tie on Father's Day. No, I want the Xbox. I want the PlayStation 5 with the whole button. No, you gotta let them know what it is you want, because we're all too used to just being like, nah, I'm a man. I'll make it happen myself. I could do it myself. And I think that the interesting about that too is I think that a lot of time when women are being demanding, I think a lot of time in their mind they're emulating men. Like, so in their mind, they think like this is how men are. So I got to get what I want out of every situation because a man would. And so I think sometimes we just have to remember that that's how they view us, and that's how we got to behave. Ask for what you want, and you'll get it.